Hi, you guys. Welcome to my channel. If you have not ever been on my channel before, it's the most neglected and highly profitable channels on YouTube that only has under 100 subscribers. But we are doing some really fun and amazing things, and I can't wait to share some of them with you. Coming into the new year, I've been thinking about some things and where I want to be, and my goals are constantly changing. I could wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden I want to be a lion tamer, and then the next day I want to be a scuba diver. Like, I'm all over the place. But there's some things that I can't help but ignore, and I am a numbers guy. I love numbers. I see them everywhere and everything. Um, Sundays until mid-May are going to be pretty much dedicated to the stock market. Um, and I guess I got to say this every time. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just basically for entertainment telling you guys where I'm putting my money and what I'm doing. And if I'm making money, if you're doing the same things, then you're probably making money too. But there's a lot of lucrative money right now going on with the EV market, and one of the things that people have to understand about the market and investors, they have these they have a different mindset. They don't read the future, but they kind of see where the future is going and they can follow trends. And with that being said, it's very easy to take a step back and just kind of see where 2021 is going to be as this 2020 Rona Rex year comes to an end and we are going into 2021. A lot of us were hoping and anticipating that it would all be done and over with, but it is not. But I also planned on it not being over. So I'm so glad I made some of the moves I did back in February and March. I was terrified of the market. I dumped a lot of pretty much everything I owned when it came to stocks in between 2019 to like 2020. Like, kind of like I just sold everything, and I think that humanity was kind of looking in a blighted situation towards the future, but it wasn't as terrifying as it was presented online and social media and officials and administrations and all the people that may powers that be. So with that said, I decided to reinvest in the future. When I had gotten my $300 bonus in it was like October something. I wanted to show some people at work how it's very easy to make money. One of my sayings is easy money, and the the best things in life are free. I strongly believe that when I look outside and I see the moon and the sun on the same day, like out at the same time, like that's one of my favorite things. Like a beer in the shower, I love that. Like those are things that are just like there's a value and then there's in value. Like some of those things you love so much, they're like there's you cannot replace them. You know. So as I look to the future, I want to put myself into a position to where success is going to be the outcome, whether or not you may believe. You guys got to understand that the markets have always kind of operated in this kind of way. I've always read up on business. One of the things I've never been called in my life has been boring. People say like you're so interesting. Well, the reason I'm interesting is because I'm interested in everything. I'm constantly curious. It doesn't matter what it is. I have never lost my sense of curiosity. I have always been constantly questioning, constantly wondering, constantly trying to figure and deduce using my own reasoning from things that I've read and but things that I believe and things that just don't make sense. The proof is usually in the pudding. So when it comes to numbers, these numbers are very easy to add up. If you can make a little bit of money turn into a lot of money, then you can take even more money, turn it into even more money. So basically what I'm saying, everything is proportionate with numbers, and if you can apply the same principles and keep it simple, and if you just keep it simple, obviously a stock market, people are like, yeah, you want to buy low and sell high. Everyone knows that. You could tell a kid, hey, I'll trade you $1 for for a quarter, and they're gonna instantly know. I'll be like, no, I'm gonna keep the dollar. I'm not gonna give you the quarter, even though one looks more appealing than the other. And then if you don't understand numbers and how they work, you might not see the value in something. If you say I bought an apple and I sold that apple for $5, or I bought an apple for $5 and I sold it for $10, and you say, hey, I made $5 off that apple, you might say that's a really good deal. Someone might say, hey, I'll cut that apple up and I'll give, I'm going to plant a seed. I'm going to take the seed out of it. I'm not going to have any money tomorrow, but maybe, I'm going to have an apple tree in like a year or two. I don't know how long. I don't know how long it takes an apple tree to grow, but I'm guessing about a year. In the same way, the gold rush that had happened in the 1800s in America and Alaska and California, some people uprooted their entire farming lives that they had been passed down generation to generation, and they wanted to take a stab and go out west towards California and like try panning for gold and mining for gold. And everyone was trying to make it. Back then it was pretty tough. And if you only had $500, some of them people, like, they sold their farms, they sold their cows, they sold everything that they owned just to like go out there to like try to like mine. So you have that $500, right? And you have several different companies saying, hey, this is the best cave. No, hey, we're panning a bunch of gold in this river over here, so we know that there's a gold vein coming in. Everyone's trying to get a piece of your pie. Everyone's trying to get your money. Everyone's going to tell you that there's gold over there, obviously, because everyone moved over there, right? A lot of people didn't understand that some of the people that made some of the most lucrative money was positioning themselves in the prospector. Like, if you think like a prospector, you'd be like, hey, some guy moved out there and said, like, you only have $500. You're going to invest in like these 7 caves in in California in this area, and we have to like put all of our stakes and money in one of these caves and hope it pays out. That's very high risk and scary. But if you think like a prospector or an investor, you could say, hey, I'm going to go over there and open a business, and I'm going to start selling shovels. I'm going to start selling lanterns. I'm going to start selling, pickaxes and horses and wagons and panning materials or whatever you need to fucking pan gold with. I don't know what you pan gold with, but the people that made some of the biggest money over there were not the people that were actually doing the gold digging and finding. They were doing the ones that were, they just aligned themselves with the success and the trends that were going on. And that's what made them more money. I think at one time, the person that had the highest income in California around that time was some guy who just was selling like shovels and stuff that you need for mining over there. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, investors like to think like that, and everyone knows fossil fuel. I'm not bashing on fossil fuels, or saying that they're a thing of the past, because we're always going to need them. But you have to notice all the companies that are lining themselves up with the future. They're going electric, not because it makes it's the new way and everyone's hot. No, it's because you can get so much more power out of your vehicle. It's exponentially impossible to try to explain to you how electricity works, because now I'm talking about investing, but you have to have a grand understanding on how things work in order to say, hey, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when I'm talking about the EV market and I'm saying it's blowing up, like, you ask any investor, there's not anyone out there that's going to tell you they haven't seen a bull run like this in all these companies. And if you want to look at my portfolio, I want to tell you 80% of them are somehow linked to the EV market. Is the EV market going to die? I doubt it. I think that the EV market is going to be getting even more. But I think some of the people that say, hey, yeah, it's going to be growing pretty fast, but I don't think they understand how fast technology grows. It doesn't grow. It doesn't like say, hey, we invented the phone on Monday, and then on Tuesday you have the internet. I think it grows even faster than that. Like, what we can do with the technology that's presented. A lot of these companies are saying, hey, I'm not going to try to like make the best electric car, because everyone knows Tesla's got the advantage. They have the technology, but they're also diverse into so many different things that is making them more and more successful. That even if the EV market decided to go under, Tesla's not going under. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. So I know it's Sunday, and I know I get long-winded on a little rant here, but I'm going to tell you my portfolio right now. And I grew it from $300, and I used Neo 2 times, and then I bought 4 companies, and then all of a sudden have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 companies that I invest in. And basically, as soon as I made a profit, I didn't take the profit and go buy a cell phone. I didn't take the profit and go pay a bill. I have a job. I took the profit and I put it back in the market. So I have an Apple, and I bought it for $5 and I sold it for 10. So what? Yeah, wow. Now no, actually, you know what? I took that Apple with that $5, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna profit off that." No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna buy 5 penny stocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now my $5 profit had turned. So even if those companies suck and they're garbage, I don't even know what they do. I mean, I know what they do because I do a lot of research, but even if I didn't care and they started going under, like, I'm not gonna lose any money because that's all profit. I'm gambling with profit. I'm playing with profit. It's no different when you go to the casino and you make a little bit of money and you put your original investment in your back pocket or in your wallet, put it back out in the car so you don't touch it. So you're just playing with your winnings. It's the market is the same way. If you only want that profit and you're only looking for that profit and you're only looking for that, oh, that day that it's gonna pay off, like, yeah, I spent $500 and I made $500 in one day. Well, when I made almost $600 in one day, okay, and off of an original $300 investment, to me, I didn't see that as like I could retire today. I saw that as these numbers, they just don't seem real, because a lot of people don't understand is inflation wants to go up, the markets go up. I'm not going to say there's not any crap or dumpy ass stocks on the market, but you think about it, every single one of those little numbers, every single one of those little businesses, it doesn't matter how big their name is, Tesla, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, like some well-known uh, names, some of those other teeny tiny little baby companies, they're doing the same thing as those big companies are doing. They're leveraging their assets. They're laying people off, trying to get through, like 2020. They're doing everything they can to make their company successful. There isn't one person out there that, there are pump and dump schemes, yes, and there are fake stocks out there, but for the better part of it, there's some really, really good, like, high value companies they're gonna make it. They're not gonna fail. I mean, you can even look at how many companies opened up in 2020. If you opened up in 2020, it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. Or you didn't start a business in 2020 doesn't mean you know what you're doing. It means that you have a really good idea of what's going on, and you have a good idea of where things are going, and you do have some faith or trust in the future. So that's some of the things I like to look at. But I'm gonna give you my stock tickers and how many shares I have, and you guys can figure out the math of how much was my strike price or average cost when I did my entry position. But that doesn't matter. These are the stock tickers, okay? Plug, PLUG, NEO, NIO, FT, IV, MYSZ, CHNR, IDEX, SIRI, EOSE, FCEL, FUV, Solo, everyone knows that one, CIIC, AYRO, KXIN, KNDI, Workhorse, PLTR, and RIDE. And as the share prices go, I didn't want to go one then the other, but it's 2.6 shares of Plug, almost a share of Neo, almost 3 shares of the third one. My size, almost 1.1 shares. CHNR is almost 2 shares. IDX is almost 40 shares. Series, 1 share. EOSE is almost 4 shares. Fuel Cells, 10 shares. RC Moto, 7 shares. Solo, Solo's getting a lot of gripe and people are hating on it, but they're gonna do something amazing. They're a niche. Same thing with AC Moto. FUV and SOLO are two companies outside of NIO and Tesla that are going to be very successful, and in like 10-15 years, those are companies that are not gonna they're not gonna lose the EV. They're gonna actually be a lot better. Arrow, KXINDN, 4 shares. Arrow is 30 shares. Candy Technologies, 8 shares. Workhorse, 6 shares. Palantir, 8 shares. Ride, 2 shares. So, and a lot of those prices, if I saw that it was like even on an uptrend and I bought them, like a lot of people are like, you got to wait for the dip and buy it. Like, I don't care if I go in at $10 or $11 or $8 because these are long-term investments. They're not like, I'm not going to like all of a sudden sell this company in like 2 or 3 weeks because I see a little bit of a profit. What I might do is sell them all and then buy back in, and then sell them all and then buy back in. But these are all companies, 18 of them, that I absolutely love and that I'll be putting into my portfolio. I also got 2 new ones from a subscriber yesterday, Mr. J, and I will be adding those to my portfolio as well because I like Blank Check. One of them is a Blank Check reverse merger company, and they're making things happen for people because they say, hey, you have water, hey, you have rubber, why don't you guys do a water balloon company? And they're making some good monies and making this world come together a lot faster. So that's my little spiel. I didn't expect it to be even that long, but I'm going to do a top 10 for you guys as well. But I wanted to get this out there. You know what? Let's roll for a stock I'm going to put in tomorrow. I have my stocks right here. I have like 8 stocks that I want to rebuy into. You know what? Let's do this right now. Where's my dice? Skadoosh. Alright, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, good. I can count to 20 still. 20-sided die right here. So this is, you know what? Let's do this too. I'm going to get a 10-sided die. And when I roll, I'm going to tell you how many shares I'm going to purchase with this. And we'll find out. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. TTNP is what if I remember correctly, it's a pharmaceutical company that is really helping people with opiate addiction, and they're based in California, and they had just got their president. They got rid of their president, and like the leading doctor was the vice president or head CFO. They stepped up, and they are the new president, and they are, I guess, is what I heard, is everything that they own in their market value is in their pocket. So they are absolutely debt free now, and they were selling for if I remember correctly, it was $0.1799 a share, not even 18 cents a share. So let's say if you had $1,000, you could buy, don't say I'm telling you what to do. So if you bought like if you spent $1,000 and bought it for 18 cents a share, you're gonna get about like 5,000 shares. And then if it goes up like even like to like 40 cents, you're gonna make $2,000. That's just how fast money is getting made. Does it mean that it's gonna go up? No, it doesn't mean it's gonna go up. But if you do your research on companies and it's all in the news, you guys. You just gotta dig. You gotta dig through it. You know, like if your dog ate a $20,000 wedding ring and you wanted it back, are you gonna dig through shit for 2 days until you get it back? Well, yeah, because it's $20,000 and it's your wedding ring. It's got value in it. Whether or not you gotta do what you gotta do to do it, you gotta do it. So just think of it like that. So you guys, it's been fun today. My work let me off early, so I spent some time doing some research for you guys. I'm gonna try to help myself make some money on my traveling to get my mom her Cadillac by Mother's Day is going to take $2,000 a week. And if I can do it in one day, then that means I don't even have to think for the rest of the week. I just like kick back and relax. So you guys, thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday and get some sun. Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't even get to talk about cannabis stocks. They're gonna be blowing up next week, so keep an eye on those because there's going to be a lot of federal regulations going on, talks about coast to coast legalization. So, and some of those companies I'm talking, they're pennies on a dollar. $10 of, if you could buy 100 shares for $10, why wouldn't you? Even if they go bankrupt, can you lose $10? I lose $10 all the time. So, you guys take care. Bye.